Starfish are not fish at all, but echinoderms. Starfish is just a common name. Their true name is sea stars. They normally have 5 arms, but some species can have up to 20 arms. They are also one of the few animals that can regenerate limbs, and some can regenerate a whole body from just part of a limb. There are more than 2,000 species worldwide in all types of climates, including the tropics to the coasts of Canada. Sea stars, on average, get up to 7 inches across and can live for 35 years. They are carnivores normally, eating barnacles, snails, sea urchins, clams, and mussels. Their predators include seagulls, crabs, fish, sea turtles, otters, and even other sea stars. They move using their hundreds of small tube feet like the sea star is doing here. My heart continues to beat with every step we take. The first place I visited to see sea stars was the aquarium by the bay at Pier 39. I met a biologist there, Kevin McElliott, to talk about why they have sea stars in their large tanks and why they're important to the environment. He said that they have sea stars in their large tanks because they are keystone species, meaning that they control the population of the organisms around them. This keeps barnacles, snails, sea urchins, clams, and mussels, and all their other prey in check. These are the species that the starfish affect as a keystone species. The second place I visited was Monterey Bay Aquarium. They had many sea stars in their touch pools where I could feel their rough skin and see how they interacted with organisms around them. There weren't many sea stars in their tanks because they focused on large deep sea fish, but I did see some, including the bat star and ochre star. Fortunately for me, I got to witness one of their sea stars feeding. Final place I visited was Duxbury Reef at Agate Beach. There I saw a brittle star moving across the rocks, many ochre stars, and a few pink sea stars. Many of their sea stars were in clusters or on rocks covered in mussels. There weren't many sea stars there because of the recent sea star wasting disease. I looked at 5 different species of sea stars that lived across the California coast, the first being the pink sea star. The pink sea star is named for its bright color and has long, thin arms. Besides the normal food sea stars eat, they also eat dead fish and squid. The ochre sea star is the most common sea star along the coast of California. They vary in color and live in the tide pool area. You can identify them because the white spines on their back make a unique star-shaped pattern. The morning sea star is an example of a sea star that has more than 5 arms. They usually have 11 to 12 arms. They are most known because they feed on other starfish and eat many sea stars much bigger than itself. The 6-armed sea star is very small, only getting to about 4 inches in adulthood. They have 6 arms and normally live under rocks and algae to protect themselves. The giant sea star grows up to be 2 feet wide and lives in deep kelp forests. Because of their size, many people collect them and now their population is strictly regulated by biologists.